Hi, it's me again. So I've decided to talk about the ECT. I'm not quite prepared for it, so I'll probably hesitate and pause, and it'll probably be one of those 30-minute long videos, but hey, we're going to shoot for it, right? Also, I'm still in the same clothes I was wearing in the last couple videos because it's still the same day. Sometimes I think I should do something different. People be like, oh, you just stay in the same clothes every day. No, I just make several videos all on the same day. Anyway, okay, so the ECT, which is like electroshock therapy, but in a better form, I suppose. So it's the same type of thinking behind it. Sorry, just kind of sounds scary to say it that way. It's not electroshock therapy. It's same type of technique, but it's a nicer way, softer. What, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know these things. Anyway, so it's kind of like a reboot to the system, like a refreshing to the brain. And there's reasons why I believe it works and reasons why I don't believe it works. And that is because, okay, so different things can happen for different reasons. So when you're a kid, let's say something happens, whether it's traumatic or not traumatic, it gets stuck in your brain somehow because it hurts and it doesn't make sense. And I'll probably make another video and give you an example. Sorry. Maybe it's a video day. I don't know. Anyway, so something happens, doesn't make sense. Okay, that's fine. So there's like this, we'll say, bridge between like the child you and like the adult you, the current you kind of thing. And sometimes that bridge is open. So something that happened when you were a child might get dealt with all on its own and you don't even know it sometimes. Just sometimes these moments of clarity, it happens. And sometimes, yes, it can even be something big. So as long as that bridge is open, those two sides can communicate without you even knowing it sometimes and work out stuff. But if that bridge is closed, for whatever reason, nobody knows why for sure, then they can't communicate between the two sides. Now the ECT might be kind of a way, since it's a reboot, it might be kind of a way of making that bridge open, which then helps that person to naturally work themselves out of the situation. So one of the reasons why it might not, because if for some reason that bridge doesn't get open, or for some reason that issue is the original issue that caused the original issue is still stuck in the head, then the reboot might not be enough to move it. It might be enough to kind of open things up for a while, to get the brain open to a different way of doing things, or back to the normal way of doing things even. Just slightly, not completely the normal way. But if it doesn't actually get rid of the problem, then the problem is still there. So for a while, the person might go through life as if, they're kind of feeling more themselves again. The brain is kind of working the way it was supposed to a little bit. Still on the apprehensive side, still on the not quite right there side, but now we're open to the possibility. So in one of my videos, I talked about the difference between the why should I and the don't need to. So now they're out of before the ECT, they're in the don't need to phase, we'll say. And after the ECT, they're in the why should I. So now they're actually back to questioning again. There's still that pull, that dragging a little bit there, but now they're back to questioning, which means they're open to the possibility. So here's the way I talked to my brother about it. Did I talk about this in a video already? I feel like I did. I might have. I'm sorry. It's awful sometimes, I'll tell you. I'll probably repeat myself a lot. Anyway, nothing's changed. If nothing has changed, then how do I explain this without going into some really long explanation? Some people are in a depressed state because of their situation around them, because of their life situation. And once it's gotten into this big mess, down this hole or whatever, what are you going to do? Can't change it. So the ECT gives that refreshing, or maybe you could change things, right? But like I said, you're still holding back. There's still that drag. So if an opportunity presents itself, then you're more open to taking that opportunity. But you're not going out looking for them necessarily. You're just open to them if they present themselves. See, before the ECT, like with my brother, he's a writer. And I said, well, okay, here's your situation. A friend of yours contacts you, a real good friend of yours contacts you, because he's a veteran. And he's got some old Army buddies. And one of them contacts you and says, I just heard from these writers. They want to meet you. They read your stuff. They like it. They're all going to be together at the same convention 4 states away next weekend or whatever. Everything's paid for. Your room, your food, your flight, all of it. And I'll be there, right there next to you the whole time. So basically, you're just handing someone a gift-wrapped package of everything. All inclusive, the whole thing. Everything. Before the ECT, he would have said no. Just because he still wouldn't have known exactly what to expect. And what would have been expected of him. Now that he's done the ECT, he's now open to the possibility of trying something. Still might pull back on it, still might do a drag thing, but that's just the functional brain trying to overthink things because it needs to know what to expect and what's expected of it. It needs that information, it needs to know. So maybe giving him an itinerary of what would happen at each hour of the day kind of thing, that could help. But otherwise, it's just the brain having to go through a phase of overthinking. Unfortunately, a lot of people stop when they get to that phase because they get stuck in those overthinking thoughts. So then that's when they can't continue forward. They don't understand that their brain actually needs to just go through this overthinking thing. It just needs to. And they've gotten so used to their brain working like that and always stopping them when it gets into the overthinking that they don't think they can get past it. Well, it is possible to get past it. It's looking for certain information, and if you give it that certain information, or at least a reasonable way as to say why it can't have this information, but it still makes sense why, then it can maybe get past it. I won't swear to anything because everybody's based individually. Even though the brain processes are the same, everybody is individual. So everything affects people differently. But that is possible. So that's just one way to look at the ECT. It's not the greatest explanation, but I didn't want to go into some long thing. If I come up with more, then guess what? I'll have another video. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I think I'm going to do that other video I was going to do. So I'll be back in the same clothes again, but it's the same day, so it's okay, right? Bye.